Multiple studies have been conducted on Louisiana's Cancer Alley, which stretches from New Orleans to Baton Rouge, with 25% of the nation's oil production taking place there. There are dozens of chemical plants, and the closer people live to those plants, the higher risk they have for cancer. That is according to the EPA. And earlier this year, the Department of Justice ordered the Danka plant in LaPlace to reduce emissions. Now, this next question tonight is for our candidates. What is your plan to protect the health of the residents who say chemical plants near their homes have damaged their health, while still allowing for those industries to continue to provide jobs to those communities? We begin with Hunter Lundy. You have 1 minute to respond.
I just want an assurance from industry that they're going to comply with the law. You know, we have laws on the books. You know, most of the reporting to get permits for air pollutions are self-reporting. So we need to monitor it, we need to check it out, we need to make sure residents are living safely. I've spent a career helping people in economically deprived communities. I got the whole community of Mossville removed in Calcasieu Parish, 2,000 people, because there was a plume of ethylene dichloride underneath the neighborhood. So I've gotten creosote registered as a carcinogen when they wouldn't do it. I can go on down the list of the products that I was involved with helping communities like this. So it's a real problem. There has to be a balance. I'm an enterprise person. I'm a free market. I'm all about industry, but I'm also about compliance, and I'm also about balance. And if you mess up, clean up. If you spill something, clean it up. If you mess with our air or our water, clean it up and do it right then and there. And they should have monitoring for the people in the community to see whether or not they have health effects.
Mr. Lundy, thank you so much. Sean Wilson.
Well, as governor, I understand the importance of having clean water and clean air. We talk about health outcomes on a regular basis in the state and how unacceptable they are. We have to recognize that both the private sector that's doing business up and down the river, as well as on the Gulf Coast, they're here for a reason, to earn a living and have a quality of life. And so are the families that are supporting those industries and living in those communities. Everything from transparency of reporting and accountability are things that will give people the information and the tools that they need. You also have to hold individuals and entities accountable. That's where responsible relationships occur. That's where you have a DEQ to ensure that we have some systems in place to hold them accountable, to make sure that our families and our individuals who are suffering as a result of mistakes are treated fairly and equally, and that they are managed, those situations are managed properly to ensure that people can be safe. There's a way for us to coexist. We have to have a collaborative, communicative relationship, and as a governor, as a candidate, and as a professional in this state for 25 years, we've been able to work together to solve big problems, and this one is no different.
All right, Mr. Wilson, thank you. John Schroder.
Well, look, I touched on this a little bit. You know, it's we have to be good stewards. I'm a businessman, and in the development business, you have to take care of your community, but you have to listen. And you can't stuff things down their throat, and I don't like the way government decides that they're going to stuff something down a community's throat. So I support that we follow the law, that the rules are the rules, and access is equal to all. That's important, because the public have lost faith and trust in government. And I can tell you, as an Army veteran, it bothers me that our government imposes its will on our communities the way it does. Like they've done at Lake Maurepas with this carbon capture issue, like they're doing down south in St. Bernard and in Plaquemine Parish, where the government is imposing its will on the public and telling them, hey, move your families, move your business. We don't care if you've been here for generations. We have to be better at that. Government works for us. It's not us that works for government. So I fully support the families, and if industry is doing something wrong, then they should fix it.
All right, Mr. Schroder, thank you so much. Sharon Hewitt.
Thank you. This is one of the most regulated industries we have, the refining industry, with all the federal regulations and the state regulations, and they are very regulated. We have to make sure, and I will as governor, to make sure that the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality enforces the permits, enforces the laws, and holds people accountable that don't do that. Because yes, clean air and clean water, everyone deserves that. Everyone is entitled to that. And I do think that one of the things that has been an exciting opportunity for Louisiana in terms of economic opportunity is that almost all of these refineries now are working on carbon capture. And the top 25 projects that have been announced in the state in the last 2 years all have a carbon capture component. That is basically reducing your greenhouse gas emissions and injecting them underground so that our air is cleaner. And so I do think the refineries are going to be leading the way because their constituents require that, as well as their shareholders.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hewitt. Stephen Waguespack.
I think we should be proud of the fact that we are the sportsman's paradise, but we're also America's working coast. I mean, we know how to enjoy the outdoors. We have beautiful outdoors, yet we also have great attainable jobs that are fueling the country. Where would America be without Louisiana's energy worker, chemical plant worker, and manufacturing worker? They'd be nowhere. The country depends on us, and so those jobs are also attainable, good jobs. In the parishes where you have those facilities, you have the highest average teacher pay, the highest average income in those parishes. You have small businesses flourishing, and you have a general growth in those areas. And a lot of those are for low-income family jobs that are elevating themselves out of poverty. We should be proud of this track record. We regulate those industries very regularly, and whenever there's a spill, they are forced to clean up. America has some of the strongest environmental safeguards the planet knows. More American energy is better for the country, it's better for the state, and it's better for the planet. So we should be proud and tell that story about the Louisiana Renaissance going down here as many times as we can.
Yeah, Mr. Waguespack, I know they have some residents who are in that area who have frequently complained of suffering from living with cancer, having family members who have died from cancer. What can you do to reassure them that they can live next to these companies and be healthy?
There are so many residents in those areas that have a great paying job, that have enjoyed working in those facilities, and they walk in and they have a great paycheck, a great health care, a great life for their children. I hear from people left and right in those areas that are really proud of what they do. I think national groups come down here and try to put a different spin on it. The truth is, the people I talk to in those parishes are proud of what they do for the country, proud of what they do for the state, and proud of the job they do every single day. And I don't think it's right that national folks come in here and try to disparage the hard work they do day in, day out, fueling this country.
I don't know if it's national people coming down. People who live in those areas are saying that they've been in Cancer Alley, and they have complained about that. We've done stories about it here at our station.
And many others are proud of the job they do day in, day out.
I understand that.
Absolutely. And so look, that's what I hear in those regions. If you look at those parishes again, these are some of the parishes that have the highest percentage of income, the highest percentage of private insurance, the highest teacher pay. Those parishes are benefiting from those investments. And I think they're proud of that service. And as a state, we have to attract more of those industries. Yes, have strong safeguards in place.
Okay.
But also attract those jobs because they provide lifelines out of poverty into a different way of life.
All right,
May
thank
I
you.
respond to that?
Yes, you, sir, Mr. Lundy.
Well, you can green belt it. You could go in, and if they're suffering from cancer, if they're having a problem, they can go in and buy it. I mean, you have community action plan groups that meet with the communities that have been adversely impacted. And I know you could probably call Oshner's and you could really find out about how many people have cancer. Over in Southwest Louisiana, you can call MD Anderson and find out who their biggest clientele is. And I am for industry. I'm for development. I'm for them. I just want compliance. And for those that have been adversely affected, they either need to be relocated or they need to be compensated, one of the two. I mean, we're not going to justify a great paying job when our family members are dying of cancer. So I'm sorry. There's other alternatives. You can compensate them, you can move them, you can greenbelt them, but you can have a community action plan and you can move forward with it. And yes,
Lundy.
I know our greatest paying jobs are along the river,
Mr.
along
Lundy.
the ship channels, and I agree with him on the paying of jobs, but I disagree with him.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lundy. We have a
you.
couple of other questions and topics we would love for you all to be able to touch on.